Hi everyone, it's Marlene from Pastime Pieces in Blenheim, Ontario, Canada. I'm coming back to you for Flosstube number 6. I did have to write the date down, September 5th, 2022. It's the holiday Monday, Labor Day, which I think most people have from around. So yeah, thanks for everyone that has subscribed and viewed. Yep, don't forget to push the subscribe button. I uh, love to see who is interested. Yeah, thanks to all the people who's come to visit me in my shop. That's amazing because like some are driving like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Toronto, Mississauga, Sarnia. It's still a work in progress, our cross stitch area. I mean, I have a lot of charts and I've got a lot of linen. I just got another order in from Fox and Rabbit. I've ordered a bunch of atomic fibers because of Needlework Expo. I've got some fabric flare and fiber on a whim. So yeah, we're always getting more and more linens in. So stay tuned to see what I have to offer in the shop and what I've been working on. Yes, August, it was a little bit, yeah, crazy. And I always hate to say, like, oh, I'm busy, because I mean, everybody's busy. But we had Michael's wedding, and August 15th, beautiful day. The weather was fabulous because it had been really kind of hot and sticky. And it ended up being just a nice, cooler day. So we could have the ceremony outside. We had the tent, but we didn't have to put the sides on. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful weather. And it was a really fun wedding. They did their first dance. They did a whole choreographed thing that lasted probably at least 10 minutes. And it was just so fun and funny. And it was, yeah, it was really good. Um, so that kind of set the mood for the whole wedding, and she looked beautiful. Everything just turned out great. They used a lot of people, or found people that they kind of had a connection to, as far as their DJ and their photographer and different things like that. They're efficient, and so that kind of made it more personal and stuff too. So it was just, yeah, a really, really nice day. Uh, yeah, we're off now to planning for the next wedding. Krista stayed home for 2 days, 2 days, 2 weeks. So we were able to get a lot of things finished or partly completed, and she'll be back the week before, so Thanksgiving weekend, and we'll finish off the rest. Right now, I'm working on her veil. It's like 54 inches wide and 108 inches long, and I'm sewing pearls onto it. She really liked the look of the pearl veils, and I just said, like, hey, I can do that. It's not I mean, it's actually an easy job to do when you're watching TV. So I do have to have bare skin on my legs when I'm poking through to put the pearls on, because otherwise, I've already sewed it to my pants or shorts a couple times. And yeah, both sides of the tulle or whatever look the same. So I just realized the other day that I had sewn several of the pearls on the wrong side. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I took quite a few of them off, but I left some, and I thought, okay, I'll go back and do that later, because could you really tell that they were on the wrong side? Yeah, they maybe weren't quite as shiny, but when you've got that fullness of a veil in that, it's probably not going to show up that much. So if I've got time, I will change that at the end. And then I just have to do some hemming on her wedding dress. It came like, she was able to pick it up in England, which is good because, yeah, like with most wedding dresses, you have to order a year in advance. So she was able to get it, but yeah, no alterations. And so it came about 3 inches too long. So it's very scary cutting into a wedding dress, even if it is just chopping. So I just kept chopping little bits off at a time and kind of basting it up. So She had a hard time finding shoes that were comfortable and that she liked. So she kind of settled on a pair, even though they aren't her favorite. And so we'll see if she finds another pair. So I may just baste it again and see if she ends up getting a different pair. I had her stand on a table as I was, figuring out the length. And then when she stood on the carpet, the whole dress scorched up. So we thought, okay, she's on grass. So I have to shorten it another half an inch or so, because otherwise it just yeah, kind of rimpled at the bottom because it wasn't laying straight, because grass is poofier than a hard tabletop. So yeah, so we'll get that done. And then unfortunately, when I was at my son's wedding, Shelby had been experiencing some back problems and had an MRI, and they called her when she was in the shop that she needed to get to Windsor immediately for surgery. They were gonna, she had to be there in 2 hours. So she closed up shop, and yeah, I hope no one was inconvenienced too much if they came to the shop, because I was at the wedding. I couldn't get anybody just short notice to pop in to take over. So we just put a sign on the door. So yeah, raced to Windsor and then waited 3.5 days to have the surgery. Woke up the next morning and she had no feeling from her hip down, which was a bit worrying. They kept telling her, like, okay, when the swelling goes down, it'll be okay. Well, it didn't, and it just ended up being a huge mess, and they transferred her to Chatham, where finally a doctor listened to her there and did another MRI, and it ended up being that she had to go back to Windsor to have more surgery. So yeah, they race you back and forth. She got to Windsor and waited almost a week before they finally started screaming and getting some attention and getting her name moved up the list. So on Saturday, she was able to have surgery again to fix up the first surgery, different surgeon this time, to fix up the surgery that she had the first time, and to do some more work on the discs above and below to relieve some more compression. So when I talked to her yesterday, she could feel her pinky toe, which was like, hooray. Yeah, so exciting that she's got some feeling back in her leg. She's in an incredible amount of pain, but with time, that will get better. At this point, she just wants to get moving around a bit so she can go home. It's been a month that's, been back and forth, and not even back and forth to home, back and forth to hospitals. So it's been a long haul, and she is definitely got a ways to go. But we're optimistic that she's got feeling back in her leg, and she, would just love to go home and see her 3 boys, which are 3 dogs, 3 large dogs. Who I'm sure miss her a lot, but I sure miss her a lot. She's my right-hand gal in the shop. We are always bouncing ideas off of each other, and I hope to see you soon, Shelby. We'll stay in touch, but take care, get well, and we will see you soon. For any of you that been in the shop or know Shelby, thanks for all your thoughts and prayers, and she's on the road to recovery now. So that was kind of what's been happening lately. I've got lots to share. I have lots of FFOs and some whips, and my thoughts for Sampler September. And I've got some wool projects I'm going to show. I'm going to talk about the Advent calendar box that I'm doing to get you signed up for that. And just some other fun stuff in between. So first, the quilt behind me is Teresa Koget's fabric line called For the Love of Nature. It's a beautiful nature themed fabric with like creams, browns, kind of burgundies, gray, blacks. So trying to find a pattern that works with it, because some of the fabric's directional It has larger motif animals on it that you can't chop it up too much or then you don't see what the design is. So I ended up using Constance, which is a Robin Pickens design. And yeah, nothing alike. And that's the fun of choosing a pattern, looking past the fabric that was used and see if it will work for a different fabric line. So this one did. I love how it turned out. Joyce does most of my quilt samples anymore, and she does a great job, and she long arms them and binds them and everything for me. So I'm incredibly spoiled that way. So I am able to show lots more samples because of the time that she puts into doing my samples for me. Teresa also has a cross stitch that goes along with it. Oh, anything shiny, you're going to see my rim light, which I'm trying. So this is the cross stitch design for the love of nature. It would be very nice to, do it as a companion. I don't have it on my September start list, but who knows? Why not another start? So yeah, very nice. We still have fabric on the bolt for the love of nature. So if you're interested in some fat quarters, Shelby, I didn't take a picture of it. Shelby made a beautiful project bag out of this fabric line because we have some of the border fabric too that would just makes the cutest project bags. And I have seen some on some of the Flosstube channels of people showing some of the bags they purchased that were from Teresa's line. So very, very cute. She's got a new fabric line coming out too pretty soon, I think, called Stitchy Birds. Also, yeah, very cute. I didn't order the whole line, but I ordered quite a few of the designs. A lot of it was repeated in just different colors. And so I just kind of picked and choosed one of the, some of the designs and stuff that I liked. So that is for the love of nature. So I have kits available for the kit. This one is 80 by 80. The pattern comes in different sizes. So you can adjust it. She made it pretty well, like square, basically. It took the same amount of fabric, and that is what a twin 73 by 93, but we didn't want a quilt that was like 93 inches long. So she just added some blocks onto the side. So it comes in that size, like 80 by 80 or 73 by 93. I forgot to enter it into the system, so I will do that when I'm done the video, where you can purchase the whole kit. So we did it in fat quarters as well, which worked out really well. I think it's 9 fat quarter prints and 10 fat quarter more considered solids. They're not solids, but they're printed, look like solids. And then 2.5 yards of, I used Kona background and then some border fabric and stuff. But yeah, it turned out really, really nice. I really like it. Shelby was also working on a quilt way back. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and make a different sample just so that we have it. But when hers is completed, I'll have her bring it in and we'll show that one as well. So yeah, so there's that one. What else? Okay, so then I'll show my finishes, fully finished. So this was one that I had showed that I was finished, but now I fully finished it. It is by, I guess I should show the pattern first, Pedal Pusher. Here we go that way. Pedal Pusher, it's Heaven and Nature Sing. It is on 32 count charcoal Lugana, and I used the call for threads, and then I used the Lady Dot chenille and the Lady Dot velveteen for the back that they suggest on the pattern. It's seafoam. I have some on the website as well if you'd like to purchase it. I think you could probably get 2 or 3. It's more than enough to do 1 pillow, and then the back I think you could do 2 for sure, and probably piece a third or use it for something else. So I really like this. It's a cute Christmas pillow that's just kind of, I mean, my house is kind of teals and stuff, so I love teal. So yeah, that kind of drew my eye that way. So that was one finish. Another one that, I mean, I had fully finished, or yeah, fully finished the stitching, but I didn't fully finish it. So this is needlework ABC. I guess it's hard to see. Any long, narrow design is always hard to show. But I'll start from the bottom. So there's a little woman. I had mentioned in my last Flosstube that I had changed out some of the colors just so they all weren't so cream. And then I pinned it onto foam core, and then the framer that is in Chatham that framed one of my other long pieces. I had brought this in and I had mentioned that I wanted something that had kind of a bubbly frame edge, because I think I had talked on my last fob too. I really wanted to find this frame, and I just can't find it anywhere. So I kind of knew that that's the look I kind of wanted. So he had this molding. It was in a bronzy gold look, and he says, I got loads of this. I'll cut it and you can paint it, see if you like it, and then bring it back to me and I will finish the rest of it. So he's great at doing the moldings and finishing it off, but I do my own stretching. I don't know if he's done a whole lot of it, and it's very time consuming. So for some of these, I'll just do it myself. I should mention it. There's somebody did give me a card from Ontario that does some fully finishes, so I'll have to look her up and post it in my notes. Or if you watch, yeah, just make a comment that you fully finish projects, because I do get people asking me sometimes where they can go to get that done. So that was another fully finish. The other finish was my Prairie Schooler Santa. So this was Prairie Schooler 2019 with a sheep, Peace on Earth. I loved doing him. I had bought the kit when I was at Red Robin. I hope I'm saying the right name. Red Robin, a shop in Iowa that we were at, and I liked their colors that they used. So yeah, so I just stretched him on a piece of foam core. Actually, the frame had a piece of foam kind of in it, so I just used that. This frame was from Joann's Fabrics. It came just kind of in a bleached wood look. So I painted it about 8 times. I could not get the right color. I had too brown, too red, too green, or not too green, but yeah, just every color. Because I used to toll paint a lot. I still have a lot of paint left over. So I didn't actually go and match up the paint to his suit. So I might antique it with some brown paste or whatever, but if anybody can give me a recommendation of what, brown paste do you use to antique it over top of some acrylic paint. But I thought he turned out really cute. I have some other ones I want to get started. So I bought a few more of these frames, and I would like to do one, like if the next one has more blue, then I want to paint him in blue. And if the next one has some green, then I want to paint him in green, so that I have a variety of the different Prairie Schooler colors on the frames. But I did him on 36 count. Don't know. I would have mentioned it earlier. I think it's flax or something like that. So I did 2/2, which is a little thick, but I like the texture of it. Some would probably find it a bit more tedious just because it was fairly thick, but I like the look of it, so I will probably do them all that way. Certainly is easier to do 1/2 with one strand, but once your head gets a certain way and look, it's hard to change. So I'll show you another project I'm doing 1/1 on 36, but yeah, it takes some getting used to seeing that finer look. Yep, that's Prairie Schooler 2019. The next one I worked on and finished, oh, I'm going to show this guy first. This was Wicked Tired. I'd seen it on Pam and Steph's Flosstube, and just thought it was so cute because it just says Wicked Tired. And I said, like, who of us haven't said, like, we are just so doggone tired, but wicked tired. That sounds cute. So I thought, you know what? It just makes me smile when I see it. And if I am really tired, I think it'll just still, yeah, just make you smile. So I thought, okay, I want to do her. So I did finish her the last time, but I just kind of sewed some borders around it because I wanted to put a broom up here. And I thought, okay, this time of year, I should be able to find a little witch's broom or something that will fit in there. Well, no such luck so far. So then I thought, okay, I'll get a twig and I'll just put some raffia and stuff on the end to make it look like a broom. I could not get raffia anywhere, and people that work in dollar stores certainly don't know what raffia is. Because our local dollar store does carry raffia, and she knew right away, but they didn't have any in stock. So I'll keep looking. And as more Halloween stuff comes out, maybe there's, the thing is it has to be the right length too. But if I don't, I can just put a twig through there, and if I want, I can always change it into a little pillow too, because it would be easy enough to stuff it and put in a little pillow. Because I just put some thicker, little heavier interfacing on the lining and the front, and just put some loops in before I turned it inside out. And I think it's a really cute finish. So there she is. I am so wicked tired. Cute, cute. Okay, so I don't know if I said this is by Homespun Elegance. Wicked Tired. Okay, so that's that one. This is my second time doing the video. I forgot to turn it on the first time. So I always feel like the second time I'm doing it, I'm kind of rushing through. Okay, the next one was one I loved doing this one. So I was watching Annabee's Flosstube, and this was one of her releases a little while ago, but definitely came out at Expo. Redwork pears. And I just thought they were so cute. So I thought I've got to stitch these up. And it was a chance to use the sulky thread too. So I had bought some, but I had never used it. And I love it just because one of the reasons is because I like the more thickness of the threads. This gives me that. It's more than one strand of floss, probably not as heavy as two. So it's really, really nice to work with. So I have a few colors. I'll order more in. It depends on how many people are interested in the sulky. There's no variegation in these, so I mean it's meant to be just a solid color. I think they do. I did order some thread that actually maybe is variegated. I don't know what I ordered, but yeah, I'll see. Here's my one of my little pears. So quick and easy to stitch, especially with using just the one color. I had this done in no time. So that was the one pear. And then this was the alphabet pear. Putting them together, it's like any finish. Like once you do a bunch, then you maybe get better at it. I probably stuffed these pears like 3-4 times. It says to use fiberfill, and I started with that. But then it was like the exploding pear. You just kept getting fatter and fatter because I just couldn't get it dense enough to what I wanted. And then he didn't really have much of a neck. And then with fiberfill, then if you put it anywhere and anyone hits it the least little bit, it just bounces away. So fiberfill, just isn't always the best choice. So I ended up stuffing, I think, a little bit of fiberfill in the top, but mostly I shoved it full of sawdust and lizard litter. and I like that much better. It's a little bit of weight to it. It stays firm. I can still squish it to make it, have a skinnier neck. I can shape it a little bit that way. I like it much better. And then just before I close it, I put a little bit of fiber fill there just so I can keep the sawdust and the lizard litter in there, so it's not literally like a salt shaker. And it closes it up with just a little bit of wool, and then this is just a wool stem with some leaves. So love this. I started the third one, but thought, nope, you did two, move on to something else. So at some point I'd like to do the third one, but I chose my two favorite ones out of the pattern. So this is NEB's Folk Art, I think it's called. Yeah, Folk Art red work pairs, and you will find that on my website as well. And I used for this, I believe she just has 36 count antique. I used Winter's Brew, 36 count Winter's Brew for this. And I love the coloring. And then just some scrap fabric that I had. And then I love this detail of how she stitched the X's along there just to kind of pull the two parts together. Just kind of gives that little added extra touch. So love the design. It's just a really, really cute design. Love those. So that was a really fun project. This one is partly wool, partly embroidery. This is it's called Under the Garden Moon, and it's the hand stitching needle book. So in this pattern, she gives you printed sheets that have the name of needles and what it can be used for and different stitches. And you end up, so this is the cover, and you do some little stitches and stuff here. So this is in the kit, is in the pattern as well. And then there are little pages that have the different stitches and what you can use for, and it's fused onto wool. So you just make little wool pages, and then this side is to put your needles. So a really cute little project. I don't know how many different pages there are, but there's a bunch. And she has very detailed instructions. Probably a little heavier instructions than what I sometimes like, because it works great if you're a beginner and you're starting from scratch. Otherwise, I find I got to weed through some of the instructions to just pinpoint of what do I do next. But yeah, very detailed instructions. So the patterns are $22.95, which include the printed sheets, and then we have kits for $43.95 that have the fabrics and the wool in them. We have green and teal, so let me know which one you're interested in. And then we did like a tan fabric and stuff in there. So they're cute no matter which way you do them, but and then there's some different interfacings and stuff in there too. But yeah, that's Under the Garden Moon hand stitching needle book. Cute little project to make for a friend, keep for yourself. It's made kind of into like a hard covered book, so very neat design. Love that. I like all her stuff. She's got some other little wool projects that wants to make samples of. I will show you. I guess I'll just show this one. This is, well, no, I'll save the wool till later. Crash. So this was out of this book, I was making 'Tis the Season with the cardinal. And love working on this one. Just let me find it because I packed everything away after the first run through, only to realize I didn't press the record button. So this is my progress so far. So I'm doing it on flannel flower. This is 36 count. I'm doing 2 strands over 2. I've changed the color that she calls for Belle Soie silks, and I really tried to get some of them, especially the poison apple, which was for the cardinal, and every time I ordered it, it just never was available. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to wait any longer. So I ended up putting two threads together. So I'm using what they call for in the DMC, which is 3721, which is kind of a modelly kind of red, like a paley pinky red. And then I'm using Holly Berry from Classic Color Works. This is how I do my thread. Classic Color Works. So I just take one strand of each, and I did my cardinal that way. He's not as modeled maybe as what I would like him to be, but I tried every kind of Classic Color Work and Weeks thread, and I just couldn't get the color of the cardinal that I wanted. So I was happy with this, so I stuck with that. I used some of the other DMC threads, and then for the leaves, I've switched them out with Weeks. I always really like moss from Weeks, and so I've used that. And then I've used Sage, I believe, as one of the duller ones, and then Collards, I think, as the darker green. So once I get further along, I'll let you know which ones I ended up, using it. And then I did the DMC Ultra White as my snowflakes just to show up. I really like the flannel flower. It's kind of a greeny, taupey gray. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe, but I really like it. And since there is a fair amount of open space, I like the modeling in this too. So I think it's going to be really, really nice once it's finished. And so I hope to keep working on that, so I'll get it done before Christmas. Another project that I had started, I have this pattern called Hand Knit Holidays. I don't know how it ended up in my cart when I was ordering, but I got a slew of these. So not crazy about the pattern, but I thought, okay, what can I do to change it up to, just make it more cute. So I thought, okay, those hats and mitts are hand knit. So why not use a variegated thread that looks like you're knitting those socks that have the variegated. So, and then I thought it would be cute to do it on the petite dot linen. So this is 32 count petite point, and I'm using Weeks Confetti for the hat. And then I was trying to take some of the colors out of the hat to use for the other one. So I did the orange, but I'm not crazy about that orange. And then the red is Liberty Red. Not a lot of variegation in that. It's got some cream colored stitching and stuff in there, so I'll do that. And then there's a mitten yet that I will probably do in the tealy or blue. I did this strand in teal. I'm not so sure I'm going to keep that. I did the top, which I think is supposed to be like a fir, a pine branch thing. So I did moss for that, and I'm going to add some beads or something as little berries, like either beads or buttons, to make them look like holly, because I just find it's just kind of otherwise sitting there. And then I'll probably put some satin ribbon. They use some wool, kind of a dark wool there. So I think once I get it all finished, I think it's going to be really cute. So yeah, just kind of like making your patterns your own, your charts. Kind of, figuring out, hey, not particularly care for that, but let's try this. And yeah, I think it's going to turn out. I haven't used this petite point linen before, so it's kind of fun. The odd time where the paint is, you have to kind of poke through a little bit, but it's really easy, so it's not that bad. And stitching on 32 count is really easy too. So I'll let you know on my progress on that once I get her all dolled up. Let's see, then It was, yeah, working on some more of my projects for Sampler September. This one actually is a finish. I'll show it to you first. This is a Hello from Liz Matthew. It's called Autumn Tree. This Shelby, it was probably one of her first projects that she worked on and finished. So we made it in, she made it into a tree. Used a light green linen. I think she dyed it herself or she got it from somewhere. And then the thread is a Cosmo variegated thread. Used to carry Cosmo. A Crab Up a Hill kind of had switched years back to all Cosmo. I don't know if she still does or whether she's into a different brand now. So I still had lots left, and Shelby picked up the kind of the autumny colored skeins and said, hey, I'm going to try this. And so she had pick out a little bit of not putting rust in here to make it variegated, but to kind of leave them more solid. So it turned out really well. I believe I still have some skeins of the floss. Probably need like 2 or 3. And then she found some beading and stuff that she just literally just stuck underneath. Has a little tree branch and then these little glass candlestick she found at the dollar store. I think they suggest using some of the frogs for flower arranging and that, but these work out really well. I gotta re-glue the stem in there because I think when I carried it to the house, I messed her up there a little bit. But yeah, really cute. Love Liz Matthews. She's come out with her latest 7 geese a laying, which I have ordered from Expo. So we'll be receiving those. So yeah, my plan was to do all the trees. I got day 2 or day 3 done. All I have to do is finish getting the branch into the candle holder. I've stitched the beads and everything. So I will show you that once I'm closer to Christmas. Okay, that I've done. Okay, so Sampler September. I'm going to continue working on a couple of the projects that are sampler related that I want to finish. So this one was on the Weeks Die Works Aztec 32 count 2/2, and I think I wasn't quite finished here, and I've started the motif. Maybe I've shown this since my last how far I got, but I'll show you the pattern. I just have my rough copy here. So I just have this left to do, which I should be able to whip through that fairly quickly. So hopefully to get that done, because I love this and would love to get it framed. So yeah, not too far on that. So that's hopefully a finish for Sampler September, because this is definitely a sampler. So that is Scarlet Thread and Twined Hearts by Scarlet Thread. Using some of the called for, I think I couldn't get some of the threads, so slight variation in the thread. The look is still the same. Whatever threads I chose, the look is the same. So that was, yeah, Scarlet House. This was another one that I've shown a few times. Barbara Anna, Midnight Minute. I keep saying that I love that finish with the diamond textile fabric and the wool pennies. So can't wait to get that finished. So I am stitching this one on 40 count antique white. So this is where I'm doing 1/1, which is finer for me. It's turning out really nice. So yeah, I got the bottom section basically done, and I'm just about done the basket here. And I think my flower colors are showing up enough. They're quite light. This is, yeah, done on 40 count antique white, I think. Yeah, it said. So called for DMC. Is it DMC? Yeah, just all DMC. I was debating on whether to use the saying that was on it. It's a Shakespeare saying that says, my glasses, 'tis now the very witching time of night, by Shakespeare. And I debated on whether I was going to do that or change it. But we're kind of in an area that does a lot of Shakespeare things in Stratford, which is about 2 hours away. They have a big theater there, and they do a lot of Shakespeare plays, like I don't know how many times a year they do some, and they do other plays and stuff there, but definitely very big on Shakespeare. And then also in St. Jacobs, there's the Shaw Festival, which also does Shakespeare plays and stuff. So I thought, hey, we're very familiar with um, Shakespeare and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, okay, why not keep the Shakespeare in there? He's kind of gloomy and yeah, creepy and stuff, anyways, in a lot of plays. I guess it'll remind me all those essays you had to write on all the imagery and everything in the Shakespeare. Um, Whether I do the little, it's got some little witches and stuff here. I may change those out, but I think I'm going to keep the wording. I looked at it and thought, okay, if I had tons of time, then I could figure out how to use the same font and just change it, but that would just take a lot of work and then trying to figure out the right number. And yeah, so I think I'm going to stitch it as is. So that one, yeah, I hope to show it as a finish in a few weeks. Because yeah, I love all of these. I hate putting them down. My way that I do it is I just keep stitching until I don't have a thread or something, and I get up to get another thread, then I'll pull another bag, and then I'll just keep stitching on that until I think, oh, I better give this one a little bit more work or so. But I tend to keep stitching a good portion of them, mostly just so I've got something to show you that's a finish. And I just like doing it that way. I like to see them finished. I did pull out some other ones and start them because I thought, well, there's always different choices of linen than what it's called for, different threads. So I want to do some starts where I can show you just some, different charts maybe, different linens. And so one that I loved for a while, it's called The Lord's Blessing. It's by Imaginating, and it's just so rich in the colors and stuff. It says give thanks. It's all DMC, and I am stitching it on. Look at this. I haven't been faithful in writing in my book lately. It calls for 14 count Fiddler Light Ada, and I'm using, I don't know. Oh, yes, I do know what I'm using. I say that every time, but it's Vintage Country Mocha, and I've never stitched on that before, and thought, oh, this works out really well. So this is 32 count, so it'll end up being a little bit smaller. Not that that matters. And I'm trying to do the whole border. And I was going to finish it yesterday, and I'm one stitch down on one side, then I'm and the other. And I've looked and looked, and I really can't find where I made a mistake. But I think here it has you go up first and then down. I think if I did it the opposite, for some reason, when I looked at it, it looked like that might make it line up. I'll have to see. I don't know why it would make a difference, but otherwise, yeah, it's pretty hard of a border to fudge because it's only one line, and you're going to know if all of a sudden it goes up or down. Um, yeah, I will have to see. Or I guess if I can get the line to go straight up to here, you may not. Yeah, you're still going to notice it, so it's going to bug me. So if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to look at it more closely. I want to get the border done because then I can, really start anywhere and get stitching away and, and just get going on that. It seems like there's a lot of stitching, but I think it'll go fairly quickly because you're not changing colors constantly. It looks like there's, yeah, stitches before you switch to another color. So yeah, so I'm liking that. So that's all DMC. And then another one that I had shown before because we wanted to make the quilt as well. This is Blackbird's Design Midnight Watch, and they have a quilt as well that they designed that goes with this sampler. I don't know when I'm going to get the quilt done. I looked at it a few times. It is got a lot of pieces. I've gone through the shop a few times, and I think a lot of it is that I need a lot of different oranges to kind of blend together, and I want them to be more that dusty, primitive orange. And so I got to kind of search out what I'm gonna do there, because if I do it, then I usually tend to kit it, and because I probably have enough of the oranges and stuff in my stash to actually make the quilt. But if I want to kit it, then yeah, I have to kind of search out. But yeah, I like this. So I'm doing this on 28 count natural cashel. I just because I dyed a piece of fabric because I thought I'm just going to do it on Ada. So I dyed a piece of platinum with some grays and stuff, and it just ended up being too much bluey gray. So I needed something a little more rustic. So I thought this Cashel Natural works out really well. So I just started with a few just to see, because it calls for Gentle Arts threads. Some of Classic Colorworks in some weeks. Gentle Arts, I know that if they're popular colors at all, you might as well forget it for a while. So I thought, okay, I don't even want to go there. I'm going to switch it out to other colors that are very close. Really doesn't matter, if the orange is, a wee bit darker, a wee bit lighter than the Gentle Arts. No, it doesn't matter. So yeah, so I'm going to try some of these threads, and then as I show my progress, I'll tell you what threads that I use that are available, because I think I picked out 3 weeks, and there's several more weeks in Classic Colorworks, which I've got. So yeah, so I will kind of show my progress and let you know how that works out on this linen, but I think it's going to look really good on this linen. But that is called Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. Okay, so before we go any further, and before I forget, I want to do the 2 quick giveaways that I did. So I did the comment picker. So for the Bunny à la Neige is Michelle Cross. She is the winner of this pattern. And the other one was Feliz Navidad, and the word was fleece, so that was kind of interesting because during the hot day of summer, fleece just makes you hot. So the winner of this one is Jill Douillard. So Douillard. So yeah, just get in touch with me through email, and then we'll set up a way for me to get those out to you. Yes. Now for some wool. I have such a mess on the floor because, yeah, I've done this once already. Okay, so wool. This is a pattern I picked up when I was at the Wool and Needle. So I ordered a bunch and got them, and I'll kit them. It is called Sheep and Willow. So it's kind of on a plaidi background with some little flowers. And so I've got the wool pieces fused on. I've decided to kind of right now put on hold. She had it on a cute little box. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to search around. So I, went to the usual in our Michael's and yeah, Michael's. That's about it. And then I started going to thrift stores to see if I could find, like maybe a little tray or something that would work to put this on. And I couldn't find anything. The last thrift store that I went to, I came across like the old jewelry boxes that had the drawers and stuff. And I thought, oh, that might work. The ones that they had there, they only had a couple. They weren't quite big enough. But I had seen several at some of the other thrift stores and thought I just didn't think of it at the time. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that. So I'm not going to go any further because I could move this in. I could shift everything over a little bit if it made a difference of a half an inch or an inch. So I thought, well, I'm not going to stitch everything down and then find out that, oh shoot, all I need to do is cut off a quarter inch or whatever in order to fit on the top of the box. Yeah, we'll see whether I can find something. Otherwise, yeah, like just making a little pillow, putting it on a board, any of those ideas would work too. So I will kit that up. I've got, yeah, most of the wool ripped and stuff. I used Wonderfill pearl cotton instead of the Valdani. They make, Wonderfill also makes eleganza, which is a Sue Spargo thread. So they decided to do their own and put it on the more round balls. And the nice thing about theirs is that the variegation changes very quickly. So that's one nice thing. They come in 5 or 8 count, and I like, for my Valdani, I like 12 weight. So I find that the 8 count's just a little bit heavy, but it's been working quite well on these because these flowers, are a fair size, so it doesn't matter. I don't know if you can tell or see the variegation in the colors that I picked, but there is a yellow and a red that, worked out well. I did start the green, but that's definitely not going to work. So I will probably use a Valdani for that one. But I'm going to try, yeah, using some of the Wonderfill because I did order a bunch of it. So yeah, we'll try that and give that a go. We have the pumpkin table mat. You've probably seen different. This is a Primitive Gatherings pattern. So we have this kitted. It's a fairly large. I think it's like 16-inch table mat. Very simple. It's a good beginner project because the pieces are large, so it's easy to stitch around without having too many corners to stitch. And yeah, you only need about 3 or 4 colors of Valdani thread. You can use embroidery thread. I like the Valdani because it's just got a little more primitive texture to it, and it's variegated. You can get some embroidery thread variegated, but usually it's brighter unless you're using the weeks or those. But I find they're kind of expensive to be doing a wool project with Classic Colorworks or weeks. So yeah, your best bet is to use the Valdani. So we have kits available for that. There's all the wool, the backing. They are $42, includes the pattern. So those are on my website. This is another new wool project I've kitted. It's called Oh Christmas Tree. It's by the Little Red Robin in Iowa. It's a cute table mat. I have it kitted with numerous different shades of green, which looks really cool for the trees. Gives it that little more primitive look. Yeah, I don't know offhand what the kit price is or the pattern, but you can go on the website. It's called Oh Christmas Tree by Little Red Robin. So cute table mat. And then several years ago, I was at the Canadian Quilters Association, and the editor had come around and asked if I would be willing to design something for their fall Christmas magazine, and if I would do something in wool. And I said, oh yeah, okay, sure, I'll design something in wool. So I did a Christmas pillow, and it went over really well that I thought, oh, well, why not make an autumn, winter, spring, summer one as well. So I'm going to show the autumn one. And then, yeah, Christmas, I'll show you the Christmas and winter one. But this is called Autumn Blessings. And this is what it looks like. So yeah, it's done on a cotton background, just to save cost, because that chunk of wool gets to be fairly expensive, and I like the look of the cotton, and then it's easier to do wording and stuff, do embroidery on cotton. So it says, in all things give thanks. And then we dye our own wool. So we have the variegated leaf wool, which is kind of like a, 3-step process. It's definitely more work than just dyeing regular wool, but it just adds so much for the fall leaves. So I love how this turned out. So this is called Autumn Blessings. There's kits available online, or if you have your own wool, there's patterns available as well. Then I designed, since we often teach wool applique classes, I designed a series of little table mats that are just a good starting point for a beginner class. So there's autumn, summer, winter, Christmas again. So I teach about, like there's probably 5 different stitches in here. And yeah, then I just kind of go through of how do I apply the pieces to the wool, and how do I do the stitching, like how do I get the stitching on, or that lettering on there straight, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is the autumn table mat, and then you can go on the website and check out all the others too. I love designing wool. I just haven't done anything new in a long time. Just everything else just keeps busy, and I said I need to be sequestered somewhere. I thought maybe COVID would have done some of that, but it still was busy enough that yeah, until I don't have a phone or anything else. Because I've designed a Fruit of the Spirit wall hanging, and it's all, the blocks are done. It's just a matter of putting the wording on and putting it together. I can't decide if I want to put sashing in between, or do I just sew the blocks together. I just hoo and haw about that so much. So one of these days it's like, no, sit down. I need walking orders. That's what I need. Yeah, everybody. I need walking, is it walking orders? Yeah, I need walking orders to get that Fruit of the Spirit wall hanging done. It's very cute. Yeah, I love it. It's just I got to figure out how to put it together. So I will show that at some point. What else? Oh yeah, I've got some wool from our wool linen from Fox and Rabbit. These aren't going to show up very well, but it just tells you what I've got. So this is Prehistoric by Fox and Rabbit. The colors, yeah. So I got 36 and 32 count in Prehistoric. Saltbush. I've carried Saltbush before, so I now have it in 40, 36, and 32. It's way more taupe than this. It's way more gray brown than that. The best thing, of course, like any linen, it's better to come in the shop and actually see what it looks like. Flannel flower, which I like. I've got it in 40 count, 36 count, and 32 count. It's kind of that. I used it for my 'Tis the Season with the cardinal. Then this one is called Hog Bristle, which is another popular Fox and Rabbit linen. Kind of a yellowy gray color. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. But if you've run across it, then you know. And then Ballet Slipper. I have 40 count, 36 count, 32 count. This is more of a flesh color. It doesn't look like flesh color on here, but it's definitely kind of like a flesh color. If anybody knows of anyone that's done a project on Ballet Slipper, I would love to see, what it looks like and stuff, just for, what kind of choices. I mean, I think it would look really nice in a lot of the samplers and stuff. But yeah, I'm just curious to see, what's out there. What else? I just don't want to forget anything. Oh, I had shown this guy. It is, here it is. It is Winter Joy Kit. And just a cute, a lot of hers come with a pre-printed background, but this one is not. It's just fabric. I use diamond textile fabric. It's just a cute little snowman in a mitt. Very, very quick, easy first beginner wool project to do. A little bit of embroidery. And then I just popped it in a frame. I had bought a frame for it um, just at Michael's or somewhere. But the glass in it was kind of stuck in a slot, and so was the backing, and there wasn't any lip to it, so it just didn't work. I would have to smash the glass out of it, and then there really wasn't any edge in order to put it in. So this was just a thrift store frame. I used Canadian Tire chalk paint and cream or something like that. Um, Worked out really well. So yeah, I just thought he would be cute in a frame for something different. The frame actually hangs the other way, so I just have to change the hook over, or you can put it in an easel, which is kind of an easy way of, without putting a nail in the wall, pop it into an easel and display them. I might, I don't know if I'll antique them or not. I haven't done anything like as far as sealing it. I don't know if it's kind of red underneath, so it might look good if I distress it a bit and some of that red shows through, but I don't know. It took quite a few coats of spray just to kind of get it covered from the red, so I'm not so sure I want to take some of it off and then have to go back and spray paint it again. But yeah, just popped him into a frame. Nice, cute, quick finish for wool applique. So, oh yeah, the biggie. I'm doing an advent calendar box. So I had mentioned it in my last Flosstube. So thank you to everyone that's already signed up for it. That's fantastic. I'm so excited. I've got so many projects, but things to put in it that I'm super excited. I can't wait for you guys all to see it. I think I'm way over budget as far as trying to keep it within, so much each day. So yeah, if you're interested, please sign up. I know that for some, like, you probably don't want to pay quite yet because it's not till the beginning of November, mid-November, that I'll mail them out. But it's the only way I know that of how many I actually have to make. So as it gets closer, I'm not holding your money that much longer. So sign up so I know, because I don't want you to miss out. I'm not sure if there's anyone else in Canada or Ontario anyway that is doing an advent calendar box. So tell your friends, family. It's a great gift for someone in your family to give you. You'll get it early, but you don't have to. I mean, you could still save it and not open it till after Christmas. Someone asked if it was going to be all geared to Christmas, and it's not. I don't even know if I've got anything Christmas in there. It's more winter related, and I would say sewing, like cross stitch, things like that related. Um, there may be something, yeah, at this point I don't have anything specific, but that it's all Christmas stuff. No, it's a variety of things and ideas, and yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, sign up for that before it's too late, so that I've got a good idea of how many to put together. Shelby's excited to help me because that's something that she'll be able to sit and do once she's feeling a lot stronger. So yeah, so we want to start putting some of that together. Well, I mean, we've already started collecting, but yeah, sign up for that. And thank you so much for everyone for watching. I hope you always learn something. Go to the website, check out what I've got. I will try and link some of the things if I can, so that all you have to do is go down to where it says show more, and you can just click on the link and it'll take you right to the website. Like, that is my intention. But just the way I do it, it doesn't give me any room, and it puts everything in one row. like it won't stop and start on each line. So I still have a lot to learn. Slowly but surely. I hope every video gets better and better, as far as, quality and stuff goes. But I'm just so excited to get more and more cross stitch. Oh, that was the other thing. A lot of people asked me if I would do a video, like showing my cross stitch, my shop. And once Shelby's feeling better, she's my video person, um, we will do that. But I still have a lot of work to, um, yeah, I'm not happy with the way my cross stitch area is right now. So I want to change all that. And so I don't really want to show it until I've made all the big changes and stuff. So once we get that all organized and that, then I will. I may do a floss tube where I'll have something in the background in the shop, but I'm actually showing you my organized mess, I guess. Yeah, I want to make some big changes there. So yeah, I will let you know on that. I'm going to do some giveaways again. So this time I'm going to give away two $25 gift certificates. So the word is September, for both. So yeah, you can only win one. And I would like for you to also, besides putting the word September in, just tell me what if you got $25, what would be the first thing that you'd go and buy as far as cross stitching stuff goes? Like, would you buy a scissor, or would you buy linen, or is there a specific chart that you think, oh yeah, I want that, but I just don't really want to spend the money on it? Yeah, I'm just curious to see what's kind of on your wish list. And definitely keep that in mind, as Christmas comes up too, that we do gift certificates. And I know for myself and for a lot of my past customers, as far as quilting goes, that like, don't bother stressing over what you're going to get. Like, just get a gift certificate. They love it because then they get to purchase what they really like and enjoy. So yeah, and otherwise, yeah, just purchase something and they can exchange it for something else. But yeah, it's I love the hobby. I love what I'm doing. Yeah, and we'll continue on. So yeah, so don't forget to sign up for the Advent box, and don't forget to leave a comment on below to win a $25 gift certificate. Just say the word September. And I still have tons more to show you. I always think, oh, I want to show like a past finish. My grandmother and my Beppa, which is my other grandmother, my sister got them, but they're samplers. They're schoolgirl samplers that they made when they were in school. So I want to get those from my sister and copy them for one for myself. But I want to show you. She's gotten them framed, and so I want to show you that. Like, there's so much I want to show you. So once everything kind of gets settled down after the wedding and when Shelby's back, then I hope to do every couple week video, just so I get a chance to show you a bit more, because I hate to leave you for too long. So anyways, till the next time, bye everyone. Keep on stitching. Bye.